Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's Florida Community Kickoff. We are so excited to have you all here to learn a little bit more about the walk and the Alzheimer's Association. We're going to hear more about the mission of the Alzheimer's Association and how you can make an impact of all the millions of people nationwide dealing with this devastating disease. We are so excited to have you and all of these attendees from all over Florida here today. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Michelle and I manage the Pinellas and the Pasco Walk to End Alzheimer's. I walk with the purple and the yellow flower for both of my grandmothers, one who passed away from this disease 3 years ago and the other who's currently fighting the battle. So truly, I thank each and every one of you for joining us today. And it is now my pleasure to pass it over to Tracy Page, the chapter executive for the Southeast Florida chapter. Tracy?
Thanks, Michelle. Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Walk to End Alzheimer's Community Kickoff for the state of Florida. We are truly grateful that you could take time to join us today, and we look forward to telling you more about the Alzheimer's Association and about our 26 walks across the state of Florida. Our walks truly are the face and foundation of the association, and the funds raised through our walk enable us to provide programs and services to the community, as well as to fund vital research so we can put an end to this terrible disease. I personally walk with the yellow flower for my mom's best friend, Gloria, who has Alzheimer's, and I think about her every day, and I can't wait until the day that we can have a white flower to recognize our survivors. Now to tell you a little bit more about our programs, please welcome Makeba Huntington-Simons, our program manager from our Gulf Coast chapter.
Thank you, Tracy. Blink twice. Another person in the world just developed Alzheimer's disease. They are parents, friends, siblings, customers, and co-workers. Alzheimer's and dementia impacts individuals and their families, often requiring years of caregiving and expenses. The disease not only impacts memories and moments, but whole identities, and then ultimately lives. This isn't just their fight, it's everyone's fight. This is why it's so important to continue to move our mission forward. Now, some of you may be wondering, who is the Alzheimer's Association? What do we do? And we'll definitely answer those questions today. But more importantly, you may be wondering why. Why do we exist and why are we here today? The Alzheimer's Association leads the way to end Alzheimer's and all other dementia by accelerating global research, driving risk reduction and early detection, and maximizing quality care and support. And our vision is a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementia. The association provides support groups, education programs, and other activities to help people navigate the disease, all completely supported by donations made possible through the Walk to End Alzheimer's and other association events. The Alzheimer's Association has made funding research a priority to slow and one day stop the disease. The association has granted over $167 million to more than 500 leading international research projects working towards methods of treatment and prevention. The Alzheimer's Association also is the leading voice for Alzheimer's disease advocacy, fighting for critical Alzheimer's research and care initiatives at the state and federal level. As an organization, we may only reach a portion of the affected community with our services, but with advocacy through legislative efforts, we can reach 100%. How? We connect volunteer advocates to the policymakers who can make a difference. Now we're going to talk about the impact on families. Some of you on today's call may already be too familiar with the impact the disease has on families. Alzheimer's takes a big toll on people and families worldwide. It's important to also remember that Alzheimer's is not just an elderly person's issue, it's a family issue. Now, did you know that approximately 25% of caregivers are in the sandwich generation, caring for an aging parent and children under the age of 18? 18.5 billion hours of unpaid caregiving is valued at over $234 billion. That's billion with a B. Alzheimer's is the most expensive disease in the US. By 2050, it could cost the nation as much as $1.1 trillion. And in Florida alone, there are 580,000 people living with the disease, as well as 1.9 million unpaid caregivers. These facts are staggering and are part of the reason why it's so important to keep our programs in Florida. Now, not only is Alzheimer's impacting families, but it's also having an effect on the workplace. Some things you might not realize is that you have employees that are caregivers, which means your company is being impacted by this devastating disease. Now we're going to talk about where the money goes. Now, we get this question a lot. Where does the money go? Your donation dollars help so many Floridians. And I work in programs, and I am so proud of what we've accomplished. In 2019, there were nearly 12,000 calls to our 24/7 helpline. There were nearly 20,000 education and support programs. And it's also important to note that only 5% goes towards administrative costs. And this is lower than the national average of 12%. It's important that we are good stewards of the dollar. So now we'll talk about COVID-19, and COVID-19 is in the news every day. So I want you to know that with Alzheimer's diagnosis on the rise and the challenges presented from COVID-19, this is an extremely difficult time for not only those with the disease, but other caregivers and supporters too. Please know that the Alzheimer's Association is here for you through our 24/7 helpline. Please lock this number into your phone if you haven't already done so. You can also find additional resources on our website and guidance specifically related to COVID-19 at alz.org/COVID-19. So now it's my absolute pleasure to introduce you to Michael Clayton, event chair for the Walk to End Alzheimer's Tampa, to talk about how you can make an impact by participating in your local walk.
Michael, you're muted.
All right. Thank you so much for that introduction. For those who don't know me, my name is Michael Clayton. I played 8 years in the NFL, and so I'm very familiar with utilizing your voice for awarenesses that mean a lot to people in this community. The reason why I wanted to be involved with the Walk to End Alzheimer's this year, 3 reasons. My grandparents, my grandfather had some episodes in his latter years where my aunts and my mom struggled to kind of contain him. And I knew that that they were going through something mentally. He was suffering from dementia, and we didn't have the resources available. So I wanted to stand boldly and voice my situation and the things that I saw to help bring awareness to people who are suffering, to let them know that there are resources available. My second reason why I wanted to get involved is because of the disparities in non-white groups and women. Non-white groups are 2 to 3 times more likely to get Alzheimer's, and women as well, 2 to 3 times more likely to get Alzheimer's. I have 4 girls, so I want to play my part in planting a seed right now in hopes that if they have to experience something like Alzheimer's or dementia, that I've done my part as a parent to make sure that we're trying to find a cure. My last reason for getting involved is simply because I'm a former NFL player, And I got a chance to go to a summit where I heard an intelligent Black lady speak. She was witty, she was encouraging, she was funny, she was articulate. But a lot of things that she said I could register with. I recognized that I had the same experiences. I'm only 37 years old. So it encouraged me to reach out and get support. It brought the awareness that I had been in denial myself because I'm young, because I'm a father of 5 children, and it gave me a voice and gave me the encouragement to stand up. So I voiced my opinion for other former athletes who may be experiencing what I experienced. Today, listen, we want to give a special thank you to Edward Jones and CVS Health as our national presenting sponsors of the Walk to End Alzheimer's. They're joined by numerous local sponsors in your communities walking alongside and determined to end Alzheimer's. We also would like to highlight our top local sponsors across the state of Florida. Thank you so much for your support. Recently, my family and I made a video to help promote the walk and to explain how this year's event would be a little bit different. I'd like to share that with you now.
The world may look a little different right now, but one thing hasn't changed: our commitment to ending Alzheimer's. This year, Walk to End Alzheimer's is everywhere, on every sidewalk, trail, and track. Your health and safety are our top priorities. This year's event won't be a large in-person gathering. Instead, we invite you to walk in small teams of friends and family while others in the community do the same, because we're all still walking and fundraising for the same thing: a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementia. We are excited to increase our community engagement and raise more awareness for all of our city to see. It's because of our walkers that we will one day find the first survivor and eliminate Alzheimer's and all dementia. And just as it's easier than ever to participate in the walk, it's also easy to register. You can download the Walk to End Alzheimer's app for your Android and your iPhone.
Walk to End Alzheimer's.
The world.
For many of you on today's call, this might be your first time hearing about the Walk to End Alzheimer's. This event takes place not only in our community, but in communities all across the country. Walk to End Alzheimer's is the signature event of the Alzheimer's Association, and it plays a significant role in helping the association advance its mission. It's because of people like you. Seriously, it is because of people like you that we're still walking, and it will be different this year. But supporting the Alzheimer's Association by a walk team, and allow your employees the opportunity to come together around a common cause and create bright spots during this time. We just talked about the what Walk to End Alzheimer's is, and now let's talk about the why. Partnering with the walk, especially during these uncertain times, can be an opportunity to bring colleagues together in the fight against Alzheimer's. It allows for your employees to build camaraderie, whether they are in the office or working virtually. They can have fun planning fundraising activities, or even better, having a little friendly competition. And I also love competition between departments and work teams. It's also an opportunity to boost employee engagement while creating a positive presence in our community. By partnering with the Walk to End Alzheimer's, it shows your company cares about being a part of the solution to one day have a world without Alzheimer's and all other dementia. This year, the Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's is, in fact, everywhere, from downtowns to small towns and every sidewalk in between, because the world may look a little bit different right now, but one thing hasn't changed: our commitment to fight against Alzheimer's and all types of dementia. Your health and your safety are our top priorities, so we aren't having a large in-gathering this year. Instead, we invite you to walk in small groups on small teams, teams of friends, teams of families, while others in the community do exactly the same thing. So now that we've talked about the why, let's talk about the how. Everyone on this call has the potential to engage their friends, their family, employees, and coworkers by putting a team together for Walk to End Alzheimer's. Let's first hear from Hank CLEARE, team captain for the Broward County Walk to End Alzheimer's, to talk about how he participates as a team captain.
Good evening. My name is Hank CLEARE, and I'm here tonight to help you build and give you that roadmap to build a $5,000 team. Now that might seem crazy. Oh my goodness, how am I ever going to get to $5,000? Well, I'm going to give you the steps right here. So for those of you who I'm speaking to, hopefully team captains, participants on team, here's the breakdown. Obviously, first and foremost, you need to form your team. And when you form your team, set a goal of $5,000. Then you as an individual set a personal goal of $500. Now, probably the most difficult part of accomplishing your goal is this next step, and that is finding 9 other people to join your team. Now, where do you look for people to join your team? You can look to people you work with at your company. You can look to your spouse, perhaps your children. You might have brothers and sisters that want to get involved and work with you. Also, your team members don't have to be local. They could be anywhere in the country, and they could be a part of your team. For those of you who are returning team captains, look last year at who donated to help you raise money. Because it might be that someone already supports your cause. Why don't you ask them to join your team? Get people that have donated in the past to now be one of your advocates going out to raise money. So now let's break it down. Step 1 is you make your own contribution to your page. For my example, let's assume you can contribute $100. At this point now, all you need to do is find 20 other people willing to make a $20 contribution. Just 20 people and $20. Now, times are tough right now. So if you don't have $100 to start with, make a $20 contribution. That means now you just need to find 4 additional people, or 24 people, that would be willing to donate $20 to your cause. And there's really 2 ways to go about this, and it really doesn't take a lot of time. First is an email. I recommend you send 3 emails out when you start your campaign. The first email is simply telling people why you're raising money to fight Alzheimer's and why it's important to you, and asking if they'll make a donation to your cause. After about a week and a half, send out a second email. And the purpose of this email is to send back to the same group. One, first to thank those who have already contributed to your fundraising, and give people another opportunity to make a contribution. And then the third email. And I like to do this the week of the walk. You send it out on a Monday or Tuesday, and it's basically to tell everybody where you stand in relation to your goal. Perhaps you're only $100 away from your goal. So tailor that message and let them know, just 5 more people would donate $20. You can help me achieve my goal of $500. Now, the other thing I like to do in conjunction with the email is to set up a page on Facebook. And the staff is there to help you do this in many different ways. So on Facebook, your message is very much similar to your emails. Why are you doing this? And that first ask. A week and a half later, refresh it on Facebook. Let people know you appreciate what they've done for you already, and see if there's anybody else. And then that third email, which is the last donation. And really then as a team captain, your job is to help the other 9 people on your team follow this same format. If you draft your own emails, you can give them examples of your email to make it easier. You give that message with a link to your page. You help them with their Facebook. And just think about it. 10 people raising $500, you now are a $5,000 team. For any of you that want to set this as a goal, reach goal maybe, I'd be more than happy to talk to you one-on-one. All you need to do is contact the staff at the Alzheimer's Association, and they would be happy to connect you with me, and I would be happy to share with you our experience of doing this over the last 7 years. So again, thanks for joining us, and here's to getting as many $5,000 teams as we can. Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I love that breakdown from Hank. He really just makes it seem super simple. And thank you again, Michael, for all of your support. You really do just make a huge impact on all that we do at the Alzheimer's Association. So as you heard, fundraising in 2020 may look a little different, but we've seen a lot of teams that have still had a lot of amazing successes. This screen shows you a few of those examples. People are doing drive-throughs such as lemonade stands and bake sales. People are also doing challenge-style fundraisers and online auctions. My personal favorite and one of the easiest ways to raise funds is a simple Facebook fundraiser. Personally, I have raised over $600 just from linking my fundraiser to Facebook. So it's super simple, super easy, and of course, our staff is always here to help you with that. We've heard from some amazing people today. We've talked about why everyone has a reason to end Alzheimer's, and we've learned how we can get involved. Together, we can see a future where there are survivors of Alzheimer's, and we can continue to support families dealing with this devastating disease. Together, we can increase employee engagement and position your company or organization as a leader in the movement to end ALZ. Now, I'm very happy to introduce Gina Waterhouse, who participates in our brand new Walk to End Alzheimer's in the Villages, to share her story with you all.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Behind me, I don't know which way to go, is the cape I made 3 years ago when I was going to do my second Walk to End Alzheimer's. And my husband said, "Why do you want to walk?" I said, "Because I want to be a survivor." So I made this one saying, "I want to be future first survivor of Alzheimer's." Anyway, Steve and I owned a company in Jacksonville, and our staff started to notice I was forgetting to do some things that were second nature to me, because it was not like me to forget how to do things, such as how to print a document from Microsoft Word. He made an appointment for me at Mayo Clinic. I spent a day at Mayo undergoing a series of tests. At the end of the day, I was given the diagnosis. It was a shock, but it wasn't a surprise. Several years ago, I had done a genetic test and knew I carried the gene that put me at a higher risk of developing Alzheimer's. I was now on the same journey that my mother, her mother, and her brother had all gone down, Alzheimer's disease. I have never thought of the diagnosis as all doom and gloom. I prefer to think of it as an opportunity to make the most of my life and hopefully help others in the process. At that initial Mayo appointment, the doctor told me about a drug trial they were conducting for Alzheimer's. I jumped at the chance to participate. The good news is that after extensive testing, I was accepted into the drug trial. The bad news was that it meant I had amyloid plaque, tau plaque, and tangles in my brain, which is why I was accepted into the trial. I am so thankful to have been given the opportunity to participate in this particular study. The drug was aducanumab, which you may have heard of. It's made by Biogen and has recently been submitted to the FDA for approval. It's very, very exciting for me because after the trial was over, they were able to tell me what my results were, and my cognition improved during the drug trial. Early diagnosis was not just a wake-up call for me and my family, but a tremendous opportunity. It changed our lives in many ways I did not expect. In a matter of a couple months, we sold our business, sold our house in Jacksonville, built a new home in the Villages, and retired and moved. Early diagnosis also allowed me to make important decisions about my future care and make sure all my legal documents were in order. The Alzheimer's Association has helped me in so many ways. It has allowed me to meet with legislators in Tallahassee and Washington, D.C. about this terrible disease. We bring attention to the great need for funding, for research to find a cure, and for services for those with the disease and their families. And when I meet with these legislators, I'm not just another person asking for money. I am a person with Alzheimer's asking people for help. I'm sorry. I have been advocating in Tallahassee for 3 years, and due to our advocacy, funding has increased for Alzheimer's care in our state. The Alzheimer's Association Walk to End Alzheimer's is a very important vehicle for fundraising and brings much needed attention to our cause. You can make a difference by starting a team for the Walk to End Alzheimer's. So will you join me? Let's walk.
Thank you so much, Gina. Your story is so inspiring, and I'm just so happy that you're involved with us and you continue to walk with us every year.
Thank you.
So now that you've heard all of these amazing stories, how many of you are ready to make a real difference in the fight to end Alzheimer's? If you are, I want to take a few moments to show you how to register using our website. So as you can see on the screen, if you would like to register, you can visit alz.org/walk. You scroll all the way down and you'll be prompted to enter your zip code to find your nearest walk. Once you've selected a walk, you'll be taken to the walk homepage where you'll click the gold register button. If you've had a team in the past, you'll click yes and follow the prompts from there and log in. If you haven't walked or you're starting a new team, you'll select no and you'll follow the prompts from there. It's that easy. There's no registration fee, but of course you are welcome to make a self-donation or start that Facebook fundraiser we were talking about. Like Michael said, once you raise $100, you'll earn the official walk t-shirt. So like I said, it's that simple. And what we've done is put all of our Florida walks here for you to check out. You can see on the screen, these are all of the walks all over Florida. We're going to stay on the line to ask to see if you have any questions or need any help registering. If you're deciding to start a team today, go ahead and put it in the chat box and let us know how we can help. Or if you have any questions about any of the things we mentioned today, feel free to chime in. I'm going to check out the chat real quick and make sure no one's putting anything in there. All right, well, if there are no more questions, we're going to go ahead and end the call. But if you think of anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out to your local staff. One day, I truly believe that we'll find a world without Alzheimer's because of all of us working hard in the community. So thank you so much for your time. Be safe, stay well, and we hope to see you soon.